Hi, this is Vishen Lakiani, and in this presentation we're going to talk about the different levels of mind, from conscious to subconscious. We're also going to touch on brainwaves, alpha, theta, and delta. Why? Because these terms are used so often in the personal growth movement, yet few people understand how they all connect to each other, and that's the purpose of this presentation. Let's start with the conscious and the subconscious mind. Now, the important thing to realize here is that the conscious mind is really just the tip of the iceberg. Way below that layer of your conscious mind is the vast, massive bulk of your mind, and that is the unconscious. The conscious mind is really the taskmaster for the physical world. Okay, it is the part of you that allows you to walk, carry a conversation, read a book, lecture. It's the part that's functioning predominantly right now as you listen to this presentation. And really, its function is to assemble data that comes into you and to logically turn this data into thought form. The conscious mind is used primarily at the beta and alpha brainwave frequencies, but more on this later. Now let's talk about the rest of that iceberg, that vast bulk that lies below the surface. This is the subconscious mind. Now the cool thing about the subconscious mind is that it's really the holding tank for every piece of information you absorb. In fact, some scientists suggest that the subconscious mind is almost like this vast mega computer that's able to store all data that you've experienced in your entire lifetime. This is why sometimes during hypnotism, a hypnotist can get someone to regress to say March 24th, 1993, and recall exactly what they had for breakfast on that day. It isn't there at a conscious level, but it has been saved and recorded at their subconscious level. Now, the subconscious mind also governs breathing, heartbeats, and all those other bodily functions that you don't have to consciously worry about. But of course, the cool thing is that it's the repository of every bit of information you've ever experienced. Below the subconscious mind, though, is another powerful area of mind, and that is the unconscious. It's also sometimes called the supraconscious. It is that part of you that is connected to higher consciousness, or the global mind, or as Carl Jung might call it, the morphogenetic field, as Neil Donald Walsh might call it, higher intelligence. This is the part of you that is responsible for remote viewing, psychic experiences, intuition, and those feelings of oneness that you get during deep, deep meditation. So the real key here is learning to go beyond the conscious mind, and this is the function of many personal growth programs, teaching you how to use those deeper levels of mind, subconscious and unconscious. Because really, we all have these, but it's like having this nice fancy red sports car and not having the keys to actually turn it on. Many personal growth programs are simply about giving you the keys to leverage the power of your deeper levels of mind. But let's now go on to brainwaves. So there are 5 distinct types of brainwaves: beta, alpha, theta, delta, and gamma. And you'll notice that as we go from beta to delta, the frequency in hertz goes lower and lower and lower. Gamma is a more recently discovered brainwave frequency. In fact, I believe it was discovered in just the early 90s when scientists were studying a group of Buddhist monks who were able to generate extremely high and unusual levels of brainwave frequency that were not at the beta level. They call that gamma. So let's start at the beta level. This is where your brain is primarily operating right now. Now, it doesn't mean that your entire brain is beating at beta. There are parts of your brain right now beating at beta, some at alpha, some at theta. But when we say you're operating at beta, all it means is that beta is your dominant frequency, and that is 14 hertz and onwards. This is normal waking consciousness. It is that part of your brain that is associated with your daily activities. Higher levels of beta, though, translate into stress and anxiety. When you're having a bad day at work or just stressed out, odds are you're producing higher than normal beta waves. Now, with the majority of adults operating at beta during their waking hours, it's little wonder that stress is such a common problem in today's world, because studies have shown that high levels of beta lead to stress, and stress is one of the most unhealthy things you can experience in your life. And this is why people practice forms of meditation. The purpose of this is to get you to more relaxed levels of mind, such as the alpha level, which is at a lower frequency. This is the dominant frequency of relaxation. If you practice meditation or yoga, or had one too many bottles of beer, you've experienced alpha levels of mind. The alpha level of mind is where your conscious awareness and the gateway to your subconscious mind come together. The renowned Silva Method program by Jose Silva was basically a program based on teaching people to consciously go to alpha and function at that level. Why? Well, because there's so many benefits of being able to consciously get to alpha. One is, of course, relaxation, but the second is being able to instantly get rid of fear, tension, stress, nervousness. There's also a feeling of internal awareness that happens at the alpha level of mind. It's a certain awareness of who you are, connectivity, a profound sense of oneness with your body. Also, enhanced problem solving sometimes happens at the alpha level of mind. There are programs out there that teach people to solve logic problems by getting themselves into alpha. Now, if we could hook you up to a machine that takes your brainwaves and converts it to a sound that you can audibly hear, this is what the alpha level would sound like. Do you hear that? That's a beat of around 10 cycles per second. But let's go deeper. Beyond the alpha level is the theta level of mind. This is an even slower frequency. It's associated with early stages of sleep and the process of dreaming. Now, theta meditations get you to a very relaxed state. Some people without proper training will fall asleep at this state, but with the right training you can stay fully conscious. And you do want to stay conscious because there's some amazing things that you can do when you're operating at the theta level of mind. It's been associated with surges of emotion, superlearning, daydreaming, sleep dreaming activity. And check this out. Study after study after study, published in the Washington Times, CBS News, Time Magazine, have shown that when you are at levels of meditation, light levels at alpha, deeper levels at theta, incredible things happen to your body. From the Washington Times, people who underwent meditation training produced more antibodies to a flu vaccine than people who did not. From CBS News, it controls pain, increased longevity, slows down cancer, invigorates the immune system. From Time Magazine, recommended by more and more physicians, can at least control pain of chronic diseases like heart conditions, AIDS, cancer, and infertility. So what are the benefits of theta? Well, firstly, high levels of creativity, art, and music. Heightened intuition, the ability to tap into your subconscious mind. More interestingly yet, the ability to reprogram your subconscious mind. Self-hypnosis programs are sometimes based on teaching people to get to the theta level of mind and use affirmations or positive statements to reprogram bad habits. And of course, that overall sense of calmness that you feel when you're in deep levels of meditation. But there's more. There are programs out there such as photo reading that teach people to get into relaxed alpha, sometimes deeper theta levels of mind, and then to absorb knowledge from a book like a sponge. Photo reading allows people to read almost 5 times faster than regular reading. And then there's healing of the body. Theta waves can actually tell our brains to produce positive chemicals such as epinephrine or lower negative chemicals such as cortisol. Cortisol, by the way, it's a chemical that is associated with stress. And some studies have shown that it in some way kills brain cells. Now, this is what the theta sound sounds like. Once again, if we could hook you up to a machine that converts your brainwaves into an audible sound. And let's compare that to the alpha sound. Notice the difference? So moving on. The deepest level of mind is the delta level. This is associated with sleep and your unconscious mind. Now, the delta level is the gateway to the universal mind and the collective unconscious. Have you ever had those moments where just before going to bed, you are wrecking your brain trying to solve a problem at work or a problem in your life? You fall asleep, you wake up the next morning, you're in the shower, and boom, the answer comes to you? Well, some people say that what's going on over there is that before you fell asleep, that problem that you were thinking about goes into your subconscious, and then while you're asleep at the delta level of mind, it is passed on, and when you're connected to higher intelligence, these solutions get downloaded into your mind. And as you're taking that morning shower, the solutions float up to your logical mind, you process it, and you have your eureka moment. Delta is also associated with deep healing and regeneration. This is why sleep is so important. And one more thing, it's at the delta level of mind that we experience paranormal experiences, astral projection, out-of-body experiences, and so on. So tell us, what are your experiences with these different levels of mind? When have you experienced alpha, theta, delta? How did you experience it? And what happened at these levels of mind? Fill in the comments below, and let's share your experiences with the rest of the blog community. Thank you.